and today is our episode number 70. It goes so fast. We are in Solaria, and this is where going to be our studio for today. And we want to thank our sponsors, Cabo Brew. Announcement. This Sunday 7th, there will be a service at the Cabo Azul Hotel. That's a beautiful hotel in San Jose del Cabo. And Robert A. Schuller, he's a very popular, he's an ordained minister in the Reformed Church in America, most known for his presence on the international televised church service, An Hour of Power, that is broadcast in the from the Crystal Cathedral Church in Southern California. So it's going to be at 10 a.m. It's going to be beautiful, and so be sure if you're interested to look for that information. Also, I want to congratulate my friend Jesus Corral. Today he became the president of the Rotary Los Cabos. So for a year he'll be doing that. It's such a good group of people at helping out the community. They have a lot of programs. So I'm going to be following him and sharing with you the information. And I want to welcome today our guest, Austin Hodge. Did I pronounce that correct?
Hogue.
Hogue.
It's hard. I don't think anyone's ever got my last name correct on the first try.
Well,
so you're good.
If I tell you my first name, nobody, that's what they call me, Dana. It's Hosdana.
Oh, yeah.
So Dana.
No, I would have messed that up.
Yeah. Realtor for Intero Real Estate in Brentwood, California.
Yes. Thank you for having me today. I'm excited to be here, meet you guys, and talk about all things real estate and Solaria and anything else that we can get going. But I've been in real estate for going on 5 years. Family business. I'm a third-generation realtor. Age 24, so I'm a youngest in my firm, and I'm here to drop any marketing hints and content that I do, and let everyone know why we picked Solaria for our vacation home in Cabo San Lucas.
Awesome. Yeah, no, we have a lot of things to talk about, and I want to welcome also our guest, Murat Alvarez. He's an artist, musician, videographer. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on.
I'm so happy. All this young new generation, you guys see things so differently. Like for us, like doing this show, the video, it's really getting out of our comfort zone. Like, but for you, you have always been so close. Like, how old are you? Like,
I'm 24.
I'm
24 years old.
Yeah, and I'm 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time that I heard that little thing when internet was done. That was 1994. And our lives changed in every way, right? And real estate has also changed so much. And that was yesterday we met and we clicked right away. And then when you said that you were a realtor, that was very good, because now there's so many other tools that we're doing.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I think that being in our generation now, being able to build a real estate business is basically the tips of your fingertips right in your phone. I remember my parents telling me stories when they would flip through a binder for names and numbers to call people and clients, and all they would do is hold open houses. There wasn't a place for you to put out videos and pictures and market your homes on multiple platforms that could possibly reach millions of people, which I think is huge for our generation, and it's good to see not only the younger generation taking advantage of it, but my parents and everyone who's older than me taking advantage of it now too, and actually recognizing how important it is that you can't just send emails anymore. You got to show people who you are and drop great content and knowledge on these people, and that's how you get people to work with you, is being that go-to person for everything.
Yeah, that's correct. Well, here in our business in Cabo, like, people come here mostly for a vacation. So, like we were talking before the show, it's a little bit overwhelming for some people, just a different culture, and, well, I'm buying a property in a foreign country, and there's a lot of things also mentioned about Mexico that don't believe everything you hear, because this is a very, like, if you don't look for trouble, you're okay. And so this tool, just from your phone, it's so cool because like you connect through people and they see your personality. And we have so many different platforms. Like we have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, everything. And well, as a realtor, you have to be everywhere, right? And communicate differently in each platform too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that my marketing strategy for every one of those platforms is completely different. My Instagram, most of my followers are under age 30. So, and we're in California, where I'm from, most people aren't buying houses under age 30 because our housing prices are so high where I live that a person working a 9-to-5 job really can't afford to do that and make that jump until they get promoted and be higher up in their company and make more money, because straight out of college, these kids aren't making the money that they were promised in their, the stigma of going to school and making money and getting a college degree just isn't what it used to be. Kids are getting out having minimum wage jobs or not a job at all with college debt. So I think my Instagram is marketed to teaching millennials how to be able to buy a home, how to raise their credit score, how to save for a down payment, what their options are for a down payment. And that's how I build my business there. My business on Facebook runs itself because I have my parents' friends and my uncles and aunts and all these people in my town that I started to I created a following through my videos. And so now people watch it and they wait for my home of the week because they're excited to see the new home that I'm going to bring to them. And maybe it might not catch any of my followers' eyes, but it'll catch somebody maybe that my follower has an aunt or an uncle that wants to buy a home in my town. And so I'm like, hey, tag your name in my video and I'll reach out to you and make sure you get more information about this home. So all my platforms are different. I think my least productive platform is my email. I really don't use it. I don't know if you have heard about this. It's called BombBomb. BombBomb is an email service. It's a video emailing service. So basically you can take a video. I can say, hey, it's Austin Hogue from Interior Real Estate. I'm here to show you my brand new listing. Click the link below. And instead of writing it, it shows up in video form. So your face is there. You got a cool outline. And so you get more clicks off that than you would somebody reading your email. So that's really the only email I do, unless it's business talk. That's about it.
Yeah, like I don't do a lot of email either. I do a lot of WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And it's just easier, less formal. I just like here, or I have this listing, or look to this, or send a link. And people are busy, so they just see, click, and go, right?
Absolutely. Text message for me is a key. Direct messaging, even on Instagram and Facebook, is big because people are busy. I do a lot of cold calling as well through my business just to make more new business. But it's still not as effective. It's a numbers game. I can call 100 people a day and only talk to 10.
Well, and people are also busy. It's like when you get that phone call from the bank offering you another credit card or something, you go like, oh, okay, I'm in the middle of something, I can't answer. And you want to be super nice because you understand that the other person at the end of the line is doing their job, right? And that's their thing. But like with video, like people said, like, how did this thing started for you about doing this show? Is that like I'm really bad in writing, and you can see my posts, and I'm not shy about it. I prefer to put the content. If I made a mistake, people understand that I'm bilingual, and so Spanish and English is always like that.
Absolutely.
But it's easier for me just to get a video done and get it out there.
No, I totally agree, and I think that's one of the best parts about doing a video and making it. I'm a big Facebook Live proponent. I like getting on there and being live, and so when I do mess up, people are like, he's a human. He's a normal human being, and we're not doing all this production, which I do a lot of great video that way too, but people need to see a real you at the same time. And so I feel like for me, doing a Facebook Live, and sometimes I'll cuss, or I'll do something, or I'll go and miss my words up, and people think it's so funny, and that's how you create that friendly following instead of being that stigma of a realtor calling you all the time and they're hounding you to buy a house and all that stuff. My fault when I get my clients, we're like best friends afterwards. Like they already know me when I meet them. So that's the best part I think about video, and with all the content that you create too. I mean, I think that's a huge, your videos probably, that would be a huge thing for you, and with your music and everything like that. I mean, I don't know what my real estate would be like if I didn't have my social media.
Well, not only that, I think one of the biggest things with what you were saying is that truth vibrates the fastest. Like there's a great quote by David Meltzer, and he says that, and no one wants to see you be like everybody else, right? So like we live in a noisy world as it is. So you can scroll and scroll and scroll, and if it all looks the same, then you're just like everybody else. But that's why I think putting out something that's honest and in a way like vulnerable, if you will, it'll penetrate through that, you know, that fake sort of noise that is social media and pretty much like every form of, you know, if you go online, that's all you see, right? So I think that's why being honest and transparent is probably the biggest thing.
Like I've been seeing your videos in YouTube. Your channel is Murat Alvarez,
Yeah.
and so I recommend you guys to go and check it out, because like you posted a video of coming through from the airport to Cabo.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do that drive how many times in a month?
Right.
But through your eyes and your creativity, looks so different. Looks like a little short film. It has such quality, and so that's how I started
Thank you.
following you.
Yeah, no, I think what I just started that channel, I think it was like a month and a half ago. And my biggest thing is I'm an actor and I want to do film and I want to do like traditional media too, right? But we have new media now. And my excuse the entire time as I was going to auditions and even being on set and stuff was like, well, once I hit it big time, you know, then I'll put content out, you know? And it's like such a terrible excuse because, you know, if you're really a storyteller and if you're really a creator, there's no excuse not to create something that's your own, right? Because if you look at something like if I audition for a show, well, one, it's not my project. It's not like I wrote it. Two, I'm one part of it. I'm one moving part. You know, whether my character is a big character or a small character, it's still a small moving part of this huge thing. But what you have with new media and YouTube and stuff is you can really tell your own story. And when I came to Cabo that one time, I was like, you know, I'm done with the excuse thing. And also, you know, what are people going to say when I start putting out content like I'm a famous YouTuber or whatever, when, you know, you have the, you know, getting like a couple hundred views or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, don't listen to the drunk monkey. Yes. No, they're not good. They're not good advisors.
No, not at all.
But it's just going out there and putting the content. So like when I started Los Cabos Home and Life, it was just like just this idea. I didn't know how to talk on the camera, so I practiced for a month and I just went out there. And you know, I don't never get nervous about if I screw up, because like it is what it is. It's live. I might say something that I might offend somebody, or my English was not perfect at that moment. I don't care, because I'm doing it out of the, like, I really like what I'm doing. And
yeah, your intent is good.
Yeah, and even if I have a like or 5 likes or whatever, I don't see that. I don't go like, oh my God, this video just had 3,000 views and the other one had 1,000. I don't care. But when I get that message from someone like Elizabeth, that she's my intern, when she sent me that message and said, I want to come and work with you, I said like, okay, now I'm connecting with people. Or I got this client coming in from New York, coming and view homes, and it's because somebody shared the video with. And it was like an icebreaker because they already knew me, kind of like knew me, right? And I'm a little bit crazy sometimes.
Yeah, no, but that is important because, you know, that it breaks that wall that is like, I mean, compare putting out a 1-hour piece of valuable content to a cold call. You know what I mean? It's like you can't even compare it. Like, you know, hi, my name is Dana, like whatever. There's no way anything's going to go through. Like, I don't know what because you've done both, right?
I still do both now. My morning consists of, on a business day, is making cold calls. I try to do 10 real estate conversations a day. So that's 50 a week if I work 5 days a week. So I could possibly be making 100 calls to my database, which those are more warm calls, but I pay for leads through a service. So internet, I run Facebook ads. That's my big thing. How I get clients is through a Facebook ad. So I'll be calling these clients, and you know, I've seen a lot of my clients that come from social media are very shy, scared. It's easy for them to click on it because they're behind the computer, and it's not me and Murat meeting face to face and having a conversation about him wanting to buy a house, and then we click that I'm a realtor, and that's a lot easier than me again calling them. Now it's real. They pick up the phone. Who is this? Oh, it's Austin Hogue from Entara Real Estate. Click. I'm scared now. So then it takes me about 10 more times before I get that poor person back on the phone. It's multiple voicemails, it's text messages, it's drip campaigns of what they're looking for through my MLS system. It's so much work, but I put these systems in place that it's more seamless. It's before I had a coach. My brain was scattered. I was working 12 hours a day because I couldn't get everything done. Now I wake up and it's in systems. I time block everything so I know when I have to cold call. And then when I'm done cold calling, it goes back to my clients who are warm. They're already looking at homes. Now I send them a text message, hey, this just came on the market. Click this link. Bam. Let's go check it out on Friday. Then it's my appointment setting time. So that kind of stuff, it takes time, but you cannot compare a cold call to the content that you're putting out, especially if it's knowledgeable and it's real. That's the biggest part, is just for us to be real. I think that's when I get the most things. I mean, I get a lot of direct messages of people who want to get into real estate after they see what I'm doing.
Me too.
And that's fine. And I love that. I think that's like, I'm touching people I went to school with and touching other people on my social media and all this stuff. And people are asking me questions how to get a real estate license and how they can do what I'm doing, because my job is fun. I love what I do. I don't have to go sit behind a desk and do a 9-to-5 job. I work remotely on my phone, or I'm showing property. I'm meeting new people every day. So that to people is intriguing,
But you're consistent, right? Because I have a lot of people also reaching to me and they want to become realtors. So I just did at the Coral Center a little conference, and people were like, you're really not talking about real estate. No, I'm talking about the process to get yourself and your mindset into real estate. Like, you get paid until the commission gets done. 1,000 things could go wrong. So more for the personal. Also, we have to have good habits.
Yes.
Like, you have to show up early. You have to do the hustle. I love that word.
Yes, absolutely.
And you have to be like putting content. Also, when you were saying about the cold calls, like when I was a kid, and I also worked like very young, like you in real estate, started very young. And I was so nervous when they told me, here's the yellow pages, and you call each person, because we have this commercial plaza and we needed to get renters in there. And I got so nervous. So I said, yeah, I did, and I didn't, right? But now I got more comfortable. And somebody told me one day, learn to get comfortable in uncomfortable situations, so that way you can own it. And when I'm doing cold calls, I always try to give some content, give more than what you expect. And now with the program, what I do is that I said, can I send you the link so you can get more information and see? And then I get a really good response. But it's like a whole process, and you have to be out there working every day. And then good things start happening, because then people said, oh, you just got lucky. No, I was working when the opportunity hit,
yes,
or the idea.
I totally agree with that. I mean, I was a part-time realtor for the first 4 years of my career, and it just didn't work, and I didn't make a dime. I didn't cash one check my whole first year of real estate, and I worked hard. I mean, I was working every weekend and every day that I wasn't working my other job. That's all I was doing, and I didn't cash a check for a year. And so when people say the luck thing, or you're born into a family business, it's not like that. Real estate's a different animal. You can't really base it on luck. I mean, there's people who get lucky. People come into an open house and want to buy that house, but that's a 1% chance that's ever going to happen. I mean,
exactly. Also, about the marketing and everything, like, this is really cool, because yesterday we just met. You guys walked into the model home here in Solaria, and your family, you just purchased a property here, a penthouse.
Yes, they were here in December, I believe. We've been looking for a vacation home in Cabo for about 2 years now. They came into Solaria, just my mom and dad, and ended up getting pictures of them buying a house out here. And this is my first time being out in Solaria, and the pictures did not do it justice. The community here, the environment, the feel, the view is absolutely amazing. The architecture of the homes, I mean, they're truly a good build. I mean, as a realtor, I see a lot of homes, and that's really all I do. Anywhere I go, I'm looking at homes. And walking into one of these, they're truly spectacular. And if anyone's out there listening that's looking to come to a vacation home, Dana over here is amazing and will give you the best service. So highly recommend checking out Solaria. It's an awesome community.
So yesterday when we went up to the penthouse to check it out, and I was talking to your mom and dad, and we connected like right away, because what you guys do up in Brentwood, California, is exactly what we do here. And so for me, it was very interesting that you as a family of realtors and third generation came, and from all the developments here in Los Cabos, you picked Solaria. Also, great for you're going to do this as an investment property too?
Yes, we're going to use it as an Airbnb and rent it out when we're not using it. So we'll time block certain times that we'll be here, but also use it as a vacation rental for other families to come and enjoy what we get to enjoy out here in Cabo. I think they, like I said, we were looking for 2 years. All the other developments, everything had something that they didn't like. Whether there was, it was too big of a community, or it was too far from downtown, or they didn't feel like it could be a home to them. But when my dad walked into Solaria a year ago, he checked out the one right underneath the third floor, and he was in love with that one, and then their realtor took them up to the penthouse and he fell in love. He couldn't turn away from it. So I think that just the service and the plans for this community are just absolutely checked all their boxes, through the gym, the pool, the kids area, the way the houses are set up, and it really checked all their boxes. So I think that this did that for them.
Yeah, and so we're going to be documenting like every day something new is happening here, and also now we're starting to create the history and stories of Solaria through the new homeowners' perspective, and connecting, because people might see just a development and it's like concrete and cold, but no, things that are happening here, it's like so cool.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. Driving around, there's so many communities and so much stuff being built here. I mean, I've been coming to Mexico for 12 years, and I can see it change through my childhood of now where it's at now, and it's just still booming. It almost reminds me of California, like the way you guys are doing, the way California runs, and how fast we build out there and expand. It's kind of what Cabo is doing, and it does. You don't know what Solaria is all about till you pass through those gates down there, and you come up the hill and you see these beautiful homes or beautiful houses and condos, and it does. From the street, looks like a side of a hill with some rocks on it, but you come in here and it's truly eye-opening.
Very, very cool. Okay, well, perfect. I just got a little bit distracted because I was looking at the comments that I was just gonna say hi. Roberto Alvarez says, hello, Murat. That's our boss. Armando Fidel Ramos, excelente programa. Thank you so much. Okay, so Murat, I wanted to talk to you about your videos, your work, your acting career.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start. I'll sort of give you a little how I started, I guess. Well, back in Canada, I went to high school. I went to fine arts school. So it was basically like, you had music, drama, all photography, dance, all that stuff. And before that, I was sort of super into, people that went to fine art school with me won't believe this, but I was like super academic before that. So I went to school and I was like in the honor program and stuff. And, I thought I wanted to be like a lawyer or something. And, even though I loved art, I just always thought of, I don't know, I was more sort of geared towards like that side of things. And then somehow it just so happened that I got into this school that, there were 1,000 people in the waiting list in front of me. And somehow I just, the principal got me in. And after that, I just started making art every single day. And, I already loved music and movies and stuff, but I really started doing it every single day. And then I started auditioning. I got an agent, went to acting classes, started auditioning for stuff, and booked a NASCAR commercial. Was the first thing I ever booked, and it's called NASCAR Heroes for those of you that want to watch me with braces. I don't know how they had me on the commercial. I had braces on. My agent's like, "You're not going to book anything with braces," and I did.
I'm going to look for it, and I'm going to share
yeah,
it.
I think it's on YouTube. It's like on the NASCAR. It's on the NASCAR YouTube channel. That was the first thing, and then I booked a show called The Whispers on ABC that Steven Spielberg produced, and then a show called Wayward Pines, and then after that, it was starting to take up a lot of my time at school, at fine arts school, and I sort of, it was like a crossroads where I had to basically decide, in grade 10, if I was going to go full on into acting or, properly enjoy my time at school and make the most out of that. Because my mentality was like, well, I'm never going to be able to do this school thing again, right? This fine arts school in high school, I'm never going to do this again, but I can always do what I want to do after this. And I sort of made the decision to take a break, and I sort of, I took a 2-year hiatus from it. I think I'd done like 5 or 6 projects. And I said, you know what, let's make the most out of this time. And that's what I did. And then I just graduated high school. So now it's like, building that up properly. And it's been a process, because it's not easy, and it's not a quick thing. The first time it took me like a couple years to book like a big show or whatever. So, but my mentality was, back at pilot season started in January, so that's where all the new shows are casting. So that's all the new stuff that's coming out. That's when they find the roles for it. And, you do these auditions, and, you can't just expect, I hate to be the person that's waiting to have something happen to them. You know what I mean? So I'm doing my best going to auditions, but you don't know if the right role is going to be in 6 months or a year, you just don't know. So I hated to be the one waiting for stuff. Yeah.
And also for the film industry, there's a lot of movies that from the States, production from the United States, that are shot in Vancouver, right?
Tons, yeah. A bunch of Netflix's stuff. Yeah, no, a bunch like the superhero stuff is shot there, and Riverdale shot there. A lot of stuff is. I think it was like number 2 in North America last year or something like that for production. Something like that. I might be wrong on that fact, but it's something. Yeah, it's definitely huge. And but yeah, that's what led me to start the channel this month. So I was sort of like, I need to create, and I need to tell stories. That's my whole thing.
Well, you did a video of Solaria.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. I shared
Thanks.
it, but I really like your vision and how you approach. So what is in the future for you? What plans do you have?
Well, my thing is I want to be a storyteller in every way. So like I want to make music and make content, and I want to do traditional media and also new media. So I like even these vlogs that I've been doing. Like I always want to do that. I always want to have like that sort of like casual thing that I can control the story from start to finish. And I also want to do big projects. Like one day I want to pitch a movie or a show to Netflix or a streaming service, and have it be my own, and
Something with your name.
yeah, like I want to, whether it's at first where I'm hopping on other projects that someone else is directing and writing, like one day I want to make my own project. So up next is basically like this channel, and then and then see what happens with the film industry in Vancouver, and go from there, and music.
But things are changing so much, like Netflix and
God, yeah.
YouTube. Well, YouTube has been for a long time, but now we can control what we want. There's not the middleman anymore. No. So if somebody maybe were back in the day that you would cast, and if somebody would say like, okay, you're the type for this role or for any kind of thing. So now that's gone.
Yep.
You can put your content out there, and people will react and respond.
Yeah,
but
and the
now
market
there's,
doesn't lie.
like you were saying, there's a lot of noise and a lot of attention. So how do you get through that? How do you try to...
Well, look, I
we
think...
were trying to figure that out, right?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the biggest things with that is, what's relevant. Like I always like to think what's relevant to people that are my age and like 10 years up, because that's what culture is, right? Like if you think of culture, unfortunately, culture isn't like the 46-year-olds, they're not the ones that are deciding what's cool and what's new and what's working. So I always like to look, and even when I'm talking to someone that's my age, what are they consuming, right? Because there was a time when certain things were relevant, and those certain things aren't relevant anymore in culture. Like hip-hop is the biggest thing in music right now. It's just the biggest thing there is, and that wasn't the case 30 years ago, but now it is. And even if you look at someone like a David Dobrik or a Casey Neistat, they're more relevant than Brad Pitt or George Clooney are. Like they just are. In terms of culture, they just totally are. So what are people consuming? What are people watching? And not only that, what's actually impacting culture? Because you can put something out, but if it's not changing anything, it's not really doing anything.
So that's when I mentioned, like, never be nervous about putting content. When you put a post, could be like a lottery ticket.
Yeah, it could.
So you never know what post is going to bring you that client or get that viral or not. If you just see like, okay, this is not working, well, just take it down or whatever.
Because
I was just gonna ask, basically what you're asking, but I know a lot of people where I want to start a vlog and do not only a day in the life of Austin, but a day in the life of what I do as a realtor, because I feel like in my job is our jobs are like, people don't get it, like what we do. Like, oh, someone calls your phone and you go show them one house and then you get a fat check. That's just not the way it works. We're doing so much work, and I want people to see what goes into an open house and what goes into showing homes and what goes into a day in the life of us. So, and I know a lot of people have this problem, like, is it just jumping in and starting and finding somebody because I don't know how to edit videos. So is it finding somebody who can do that for you? Like, what was your step process?
Well,
I know you're very into it. So
yeah. Well, look, so my thing was, that's a good question, by the way, man. My thing was, in school, I started making videos a long time. Like, I started making videos when I was like 9, 10 years old, and I would make videos with my friends. So we'd record like shows, and even with my webcam on my MacBook, like, it didn't matter, but we'd have, I loved stories and movies, so I was always making stuff. And then after, when I went to fine art school, I started making like short films and, signing up for, film festivals and stuff like that. So that was fun. So that's what got me sort of jumping into, okay, even like a 48-hour film festival was a thing in Vancouver. So you had 48 hours to make a movie, and they'd give you a topping, and you're like, okay, shoot. So, right? So stuff like that. But I think, editing and, camera work and stuff, I think the only way to do it is to just do it. There's I never saw like a tutorial on how to edit. Like, I did take courses and I did take classes.
But you need to have that showbiz DNA. I think you have to, because people see, like, some people are better at writing and doing blogs, other people like us that we like to do the video, other people like, it just depends where do you feel,
and you
feel
need to be
comfortable,
self-aware.
right? Like, nobody knows this, but I wanted to be a telenovela actress. I wanted to do that, like a soap opera in Mexico is very big, and I love them, so, but I never got the opportunity, and my mother said that was not the right path for me, so, well, whatever. But the thing is that, funny, the other day somebody said, like, Dana, do you know there's going to be a Cabo real estate reality show, like huge production coming from LA? She said, well, your show will be done. And I go like, well, maybe I do not have that potential economic power, but I don't care. I have a phone. I can do it. I've been doing this since October, and this is my passion, and you cannot produce passion, right? Where you're doing.
Totally.
And the other thing that somebody said, a real estate show, oh, interesting. You're going to run out of content. I go like, are you kidding me?
Impossible.
Because the thing is that it's not only real estate, it's entertaining. And like, I like to put stuff that I do if we go fishing or golfing and stuff. So, and it's also about connecting the community. Like, there's a lot of fundraisers here, so be aware. People come and buy a house, and some people are okay just hanging out by the pool, having a beer, but other people are busybodies, and they said, like, okay, let's get into this, and I want to help now that I'm a partial resident of Los Cabos, and there's like the Children's Foundation and this and that. So that's basically what I'm doing.
No, I think that you hit it on the head. We're not just selling homes, and you're not just making videos. We're selling a lifestyle. So, like, that's where I have to hit home with my thing is people always told me the same thing. You're going to run out of things to talk about. But I'm not just talking about my homes and what I have coming up. I'm talking about what's going on in my community, because nobody really knows what's going on in my area. So for people with family, especially in summertime, your kids are home all the time. The mom's about to pull her hair out because the kids are driving her crazy. Give them something to do. The water park has $5 days this day. The movies have $3 movie tickets this day. And you're giving them content. And I'm hardly talking about my real estate life, right? I'm hardly talking about a home. But at the end, I'm gonna say, if you do know anyone wants to buy or sell a home, please let me tag them in this video, and that way I can help them out. But people will, when I live in a pretty small community of about 12,000 people, so like my community is not very big. My town is even smaller. So I'll go to dinner, and people will be like, they won't even know my name. I'm the Facebook Live guy. Oh, hey, he's the Facebook guy. And I'll be at dinner, and people will be like, hey, did they just call you the Facebook guy? And I'm like, yeah, I'm always on Facebook. They always see my face. And so they know me through real estate. That's how I get my deals, is through the word of mouth of my Instagram and my Facebook. So,
yeah. Well, that is happening to me. The other day at a restaurant, they gave me my, like, it was for free because I posted something, and I was like overwhelmed because now there's a new thing, it's called influencers, and like I know the millennials are buying from real estate influencers too because they speak the same language. So I mean, I think probably that's a big word, but when you're suggesting and you're bringing the content to people, then they trust you, and so you've already done the walk and talked to the people and found out what's going on, so they can come through you, and it's a lot easier for them, right?
I think, one of the best examples of that is Ryan Serhant. Like, I think...
Oh, I love him.
If you look at a guy like Ryan Serhant, is like the thing I really like about him is he's putting out content and there's kids my age or even younger watching it, right? So he'll have like 17-year-olds watching his content, no problem. And like a 17-year-old can't buy a house yet, but they will one day, right? And so Ryan Serhant's content isn't about really his listings. Like once in a while he'll have like a really crazy condo he's listing and it's a cool piece of content. But most of the time it's just value. It's 100% value. And like, hey man, if you're a guy that's going to have like a $250 million net worth and is going to end up buying a $30 million condo, I'm sure one of the people that's watching it's going to. Yeah. So, he's playing that long game of like pure value and just waiting for those results. And I think that's the smartest move. Because it's not the short term, like, let me sell this house. You're really selling yourself at that point. Like, I think of Ryan Serhant when I think of real estate, and he's like truly the face of it, in my opinion, and in culture right now.
And I love his story. Like, he used to be a hand model. That's how he paid his rent, right?
Yeah, read his book. If you haven't read his book, it's really good.
Yeah. We have a comment. Alberto AC, you can hire me for the reality TV. I sell. That's fun. Well, that would be something. As soon I'm going to have a videographer just following me around, because what I do is like I'm not producing content. I'm just documenting my days, and my days go like really early, like all the appointments I have and stuff. So if somebody and I want to do like you do also about the buyers, right? Tell us about that.
I do a buyer. So I do basically a buyer of the week as well as a home of the week. So if I have a new buyer come to me to buy a home, what I'll do is I'll go on Facebook Live and I'll say, hey, I have this lovely young couple. They're looking to buy their first home in the Brentwood area, and this is what they're looking for. Look for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, under 1,300 square feet, and their price range is around $550. If you or anyone is looking to sell their house in this area, tag the comment. I got a buyer for you right now. And so for me, there's a small percentage chance that's going to work, but for my client, you're going the extra step. Now they just log on to Facebook, they click my video, and they're like, well, that's me. He's talking about me. He's going the extra step. I'm not just sending them listings that are on the market. I'm going to go above and beyond and say, hey, listen, I'm going to send you everything that's on the market, that's in your price range. But if you don't like any of that, where do we go from now? We have to wait for another one to come up. Let's not wait. Let's be proactive. And maybe we'll get that slight chance that it's going to work, and we'll find something, and I can help you find that dream home of yours. But if they don't find it, that doesn't work, at least it looks like I'm working. I'm not just, in their head, I'm not just sitting on the couch waiting for something to happen. So I do a buyer of the week and a home of the week. So I will go through, if I was here, I'd go through and go through the whole entire condo and show everyone what's going on and what it's priced at and when the next open house is going to be. Or if they want to come see it, instead of a private showing, I'm here and we can do that. And then I just do Instagram, I call it a knowledge drop video. They're 30 seconds, and it's basically me talking about a credit score or what you have to do to buy a home, and that helps my millennial group be more confident in buying homes. I have people who I grew up with, go to high school with, direct message me every day, hey, what do I need to do? Put me on, I call it my action plan. Put me on that action plan you talk about. Let's get me in a house. I'm done living with my parents. I'm done paying rent. I got a good job now. Like, let's do it. And I also, my previous career was a fireman, so I have a lot of firefighter friends and cop friends. So I branch out to them, and that's how I started my business really in real estate, was just friends and family. And having a dad, my mom in real estate, I don't have very many clients that are my friends. My dad has already capitalized on all of them, and he has them, and it's done. So I had to branch out to my friends and teach them how to buy homes at that age, instead of turning them away and putting them in rentals, I had to show them, and the one thing I had to do is buy my own home. I had to show them that I can purchase a home at age 21
Right.
and do that factor. So I went and bought my own house. Like, if I'm speaking this, I'm going to do it, right? So I went and did it, and that gained a lot of a following right there. Austin, how did you buy a house? So
Did you document that process of you buying a house?
I documented the process through Facebook and Instagram, and then people started seeing it around, and I had a housewarming party, and people knew about it. So I knew how to capitalize on that, and that's what sprung the age 22 to 28 saying, let's buy homes.
What I would even do with that is, because you were asking about your vlogs and stuff, is I would make a whole series about it on YouTube, like a proper, like a multi-episode series on what the process was actually like every single step of the way. And that could be like your first whole season of content could just be that. Because like I said, it's got to be relevant, right? You can't just show up you can make content, but there's people that are going to be making better content. So like, which one do you want to be like? If you're both making content and someone's making really, really good content, like I'd rather be that person. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. That was like pretty much going to be my first mini series, was going to be what it takes to purchase a home and what that process is to do that. And that's.
And what's stopping you from doing that?
I think it's just it's me here. It's easier for me to get on that phone and do it than me have to go. When I go home, I want to unplug instead of plugging onto my computer and editing and trying to learn something that I'm not really tech savvy. So learning how to do that. So I think either taking a course or even paying somebody to edit my videos for me would be my next step. And having someone, with a good camera help me out, But
you can start with your phone.
I see people doing it on the phone.
Is that a 10S or a 10?
10S.
Yeah, there you go. It's got a great camera.
Yeah, so I think that after talking to you about it, it's gonna be. I'm gonna have you hold me accountable. Actually, we're gonna exchange numbers, and I'm gonna want you to hold me accountable, and you're gonna do this. So
yeah, no, you should definitely do it, especially because your age demographic, like your target, you said, is all young. A lot of young people.
Absolutely, no, I totally agree. I have to be in that. I don't want to miss the train. So if you're not doing what the millennials are doing, you're gonna get off that train, and you're gonna be pushed back aside, and you're gonna be like every other realtor or every other content maker around you. If you want to just take that. I call it the 2 millimeter rule. You change your life with 2 millimeters, and it changes your entire life. You do one extra step, and it changes your entire life. And it's not big changes. You just got to do it. It's massive action with little change, and that's what helps you out.
And like not even just real estate stuff. You can just documenting everything and making like actual content. Like I'm sure there's a lot of stories you can tell, and even just vlogging it. It's not. You could learn you do it on iMovie. It's not even a big deal.
But also just starting, like I'm starting, it teaches you now. I don't get nervous around a camera. I can just I don't even think about it. And then, when I get more sales and I started investing more into equipment and having a videographer follow me around. So then it has like an evolution, but not stop because it's not perfect. That was my thing.
Yeah.
So we're coming to the end of the show, and you were gonna play for us.
No, I'll play you guys. I'll sing you guys a song before this ends.
So when I was gonna sing a song.
How should I do this mic thing? Should I? Sure.
Yeah, please.
Let's see. How is this mic stereo or is it just direct? Will it hear it properly, you think?
Yeah, it would absorb it.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. This is a song I wrote. You can find it on SoundCloud at Murad Alvarez, so if you guys want to listen to it. Or just on Instagram at Murad Alvarez. Call me up one night, and next thing you know, she's got me up all night. She's just trying to keep it open and blurry. I'm playing games I thought, but not the kind of games that wouldn't fade my thoughts for days to come, weeks and months. I don't know what she did to me, but now it's getting clear to see that she played me like a summer breeze. She came and went. And then
there's a show I'm watching. Seeing them together reminds me of us. I kinda hope they end up together. And I realize it's been a while when it seems I finally see you smile. It's always someone else to feel the way I felt. I'm thinking way too much these days. Just about a place in outer space. Back on Earth, there's things I miss. At least up here, there's no one lying. And give her a little time, she'll wish she hadn't played like that. And if she wants to go back, she can spend every day thinking about it. And taking my peace of mind and running with it every night. I understand we were no Jim and Pam in our rush to conclusion. Nowadays I've been trying to act right, seeing her again in December that night. It took me back in time to the snow days. But the past has always had to go. When I finally find my miracle, well, time won't mean a thing like all those diamond rings. I'm trying to see the beauty in losing things before you win. I tell myself that I'll be happy then. Why wait till then to have it all now? But give it a little time, yeah, maybe then I'll understand. This went from love song to art song, and everything's happening through me. And I got my peace of mind, and nobody can mess with that. I understand we were no Jim and family, we rushed to conclusions. Give it a little time, she'll wish she hadn't played like that. And if she wants to go back, she can spend every day thinking about it. And taking my peace of mind and running with it every night. I understand we were no Jim and Pam in our rush to conclusion.
Beautiful. That was awesome.
Awesome.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we had a lot of comments and people congratulate for our show. I think it's been a very fun show, guys.
Very
Your
fun.
energy is amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. I had a blast.
Me too, me too.
So how do we find you? Facebook, everything.
Facebook is just Austin Hogue. Last name is Hoggge. Instagram is AUSHOGGE.Intero. INTERO.
And about your real estate?
Oh, yes. What was the question one more time? Okay.
Okay,
That's
no.
where all my real estate stuff is.
Okay, that's where everything.
My numbers are on there. Everything's on their email, so they can reach me through real estate.
And what's the name of your brokerage?
Oh, I work for Intero Real Estate out in or all over. Main hub is out of Cupertino, which is in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Very cool. And Murat?
You can find me everywhere at Murat Alvarez. So basically, like on Instagram, Murat Alvarez, M-U-R-A-T, and YouTube is also Murat Alvarez, and I'm pretty sure I'm like the only one on YouTube with that name. Or it's like another guy, but I don't know if he puts up anything.
Okay.
So yeah.
Awesome, guys. I see you're going to do great things in the future. We'll be following you and sharing your content. Thank you so much for coming. And everybody, thank you for watching. And I'm Dana. We'll see you next week on Los Cabos Home and Life.
See you guys.